Speaking of playoff time and guys who have dominated, let's talk about Mike Tomlin, Bill Belichick, two of the best coaches of the last 20 years. A lot of people, including myself, refer to Bill Belichick as the GOAT coach, at least in the NFL. Has not been a good season for those gentlemen. The New England Patriots have not found their way ever since the GOAT Tom Brady left. They were sold a dummy brick and Mac Jones, which everybody with eyes knew was going to happen. A lot of people fell for the okie doke by him being decent in his first season. He was bad last year. Nobody has been benched and put back in the starting lineup more than Mac Jones. Zach Wilson probably comes close, but I still think Mac has him beat. And Mike Tomlin, I never thought I'd see a day, but we're actually having a serious non-troll conversation about Mike Tomlin's job security. I think that the Bill Belichick thing, as we've said on this show a couple months ago, me, Bang, and Mariano was on here, said it's time for him to go be a family man. Bang said it's more about he had more of an issue with Belichick, the GM, because of how bad this roster has been. I think it's just time for him to part ways. That I don't think it's going to be a firing. I think we're going to get like a press release at the end of the season that says that we are agreeing to part ways, and he's going to become the coach somewhere else, or maybe he'll just go full front office. I don't know. He's the greatest coach of all time. He's got 8 Super Bowl championships, including his time with the Giants. He just needs to sign out. Now, the Mike Tomlin thing is difficult to me because, number one, the Steelers don't fire coaches. They've only had 3 coaches in their franchise history. I don't think I'm missing one, but as far as I know, it was Norv. What was the first one? It's Norv. What was the first Steel Curtain coach?
You talk about Chuck Noll?
Chuck Noll.
Chuck Noll,
Yeah.
Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and then Mike Tomlin. So they don't fire coaches, especially their family came up with the Rooney Rule. So I find it hard to believe they're going to get rid of an African American coach. But this has not been his best year. They stayed afloat for a little bit, but Kenny Pickett is trash. And Kenny Pickett is worse than Mitchell Trubisky. I understand that saying AIDS is better than cancer. I get that, but if we're comparing the two, he is a better quarterback. Mason Rudolph ain't better than Mitch either. But my thing here is that Mike Tomlin should take some blame. He's had a problem for a long time hiring an offensive coordinator, and that has been something that's really bit them too. But I think that firing him to me is a little bit much. Should he get a warning? Yes, but I think a guy who this is his first season under 500 ever should get a slap on the wrist. I'm gonna go to Shaun first. What's your opinion on first Mike Tomlin? What's going with that, and the likelihood that both of these guys are not coaching these teams next year?
I think they both face the same issue. They're both coaches that had big time Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and in the midst of having that guy that can kind of carry the team, you lost the identity of who you were. And once they left, the trenches were gone, at least on the offensive side of the ball. That's been the struggle for both teams for the last 3 years. The offensive lines have been absolutely horrible. And that was the bread and butter for both teams. You had Tom Brady, but you really go back and look at what the New England Patriots, they had a Hall of Fame offensive line coach for over a decade. And you go back and look the way they would bring in different running backs every year. And those running backs would have big time games in the playoffs. It was crazy. They would have moments in the playoffs. The Steelers are known for running the football, known for having great offensive linemen. And that offensive line has disappeared after they lost Ben Roethlisberger. So, the identity of both of those programs are toughness and winning in the trenches on the both sides of the ball. And on one side of the ball, they haven't been able to do that. And they've tried to cover it up by drafting high Kenny Pickett and Mac Jones. And once you choose wrong and you don't have the trenches to support, that's a wrap, man. And I don't see either one of them. I think both of these guys need to get out of there. I really do, because I don't see either one of them being able to turn things around, whether it's New England or Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh is not just going to step away from Kenny Pickett. And then you got the next Antonio Brown and George Pickens in the locker room. So at this point, Mike Tomlin, he's already shown that he has like a DeMeco Ryans effect. So he has the best chance of staying and turning it around. But my hope is that both of those guys can go elsewhere. And really, I don't even see the need for Bill Belichick to go elsewhere. You're a Hall of Fame defensive coordinator, man. multiple Super Bowls as a defensive coordinator, and the 7 as a head coach. Like, what do you have to prove, man? All that Tom Brady stuff doesn't mean anything. You're a Hall of Famer, arguably the best head coach in all of NFL history. Man, just walk out and go enjoy your boat, sailing, fishing, and all of that stuff up in Hyannisport, man.
And enjoy your hoes, Bill Belichick. I've seen the videos, my guy. I've seen it. Bill ain't low. You seen him outside with no shirt on. Bill out here in these streets, and he was on College Game Day. He was actually pretty good on College Game Day with Pat McAfee. That might be a career in broadcasting. Or like you said, Shaun, he got 8 rings, man. He got money. He did everything he needed to do. Go ahead and chill. Dante, what you think about these the conundrum that we find these 2 legendary coaches in?
It's not a conundrum. It's over. Like, it's really that simple. And I'm not even trying to be disrespectful when I say that. It's much like the Brady, the Peyton, the Breeze. Like, we watched their entire era. We watched the rise. We watched the apex. We watched the fall. It's over. It's over with for them. There's nothing wrong with that. I think Tomlin more so than Belichick should continue on. I think if you build, I know you want to catch, the most wins of all time. That's probably not going to happen. That's not going to happen. But bow out gracefully. I mean, I think, all of the Brady talk, I think a lot of the conversations we have now are gassed up so much by social media in the moment that 5 or 10 years from now, we're not going to be sitting here trying to shit on Bill Belichick's legacy because Tom Brady left. We're going to be talking about one of the greatest coaches to ever pick up a clipboard, and especially with, the way the game has evolved throughout his time in it, and he's still been able to dominate. So, it wasn't bad to the end. So I think with both of them, it's not really, a conundrum. It's not anything to really think about. It's over. And, it may be tough for us, especially because, being 35, me and Scott, we kind of get into that age where now everybody from our childhood is either retiring or they washed. Like, the shit is crazy. So, what it is. It's just the sports life.
Bang, you've been on the Bill Belichick needs to walk away train for a couple months. How do you feel right now?
No, I'm not on he needs to walk away. I think he needs a GM. I think he needs another person that's going to take care of player personnel. The reason why this team suck is not because of coaching. The reason why they suck because they ain't got no players. Like, name a good player on this team. Name a player on this team that you'd be like, you know what? I wouldn't mind them on my team. You ain't got them, all right? And part of the reason is because the arrogance of coaching. Like, yo, you could bring a broom up in and I could coach him up and there'd be a Pro Bowl guard. Like, some of it is that, but also it's really just bad personnel moves. So being that it's bad personnel moves, I think if Bill Belichick can say, look, I will agree to allowing somebody make the personnel moves, they'd be okay. You get the right person. Like, matter of fact, random, just thinking of a random, where's Scott Pioli at? You know what I'm saying? Is he still kicked in on like yes or whatever? Where's Thomas Dimitrioff at? Both of them was with the organization. It has to be somebody that, that Bill know. You can't go grab some young ass dude, you know what I'm saying, and think Bill gonna come in and respect him. That's like if we working at, like, matter of fact, I'll go from experience. It's like me working at Best Buy and they make me the supervisor, but it's this old ass dude named Gary that's been there for 20 years. Like, yo, you ain't about to tell me what to do.
I imagine you put his real name out there. Shout out to Gary.
Shouts out to my nigga Gary, man. He was this old white man that I used to work with at Best Buy North Riverside. He might not be around no more, but if he is, shouts out to Gary. But with that being said, man, that's the situation that you in. You bring in an experienced personnel person that knows Bill and can work with Bill and help upgrade this roster, and they go get another quarterback. Oh, believe me, fam, he's like 16 wins away. What, did he get that in New England or what? The Chargers?
You might as well stick with the Commanders. You've been on the Commanders way.
Yeah, or the Commanders, because I still think it's gonna be a trade. He's gonna get traded to the Commanders. But either way it go, I think no matter where he go, he ain't gonna get full autonomy. Yo, we got this GM that's gonna get the groceries, but y'all collaborate together. That's good. And I think if they do that in New England, I think they'd be straight. They just have no talent. They shouldn't have won the games that they won. The Patriots should not have won a game this year with the talent that they got.
And paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna